Liverpool Fan in Japan.
Hello YouTube, Liverpool fan in Japan here, the Miyazaki Man Si. Alrighty, Liverpool have come close to an agreement with Milos Kerkez from Bournemouth to join Liverpool in the summer. However, breaking news, the Manchester City have apparently joined in the race, but I'm going to tell you why it's nothing to fear and how Milos Kerkez is actually not the left back and player that most Liverpool fans think he is, but maybe in a good way. So you're going to want to stick around for this video. Now, before we carry on, do me a favor and smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't already. There's a channel with substance in abundance, cream of the crop.
The cream of the crop!
And a tasty 69% of you who watch these videos are subscribed already, but at least 31% of you who watch video on video and haven't subscribed yet. So what are you waiting for? Smash that subscribe button and let's get into it. So it's to no surprise, really, that Milos Kerkez is highly in demand, right? Even Real Madrid are in for Milos Kerkez. Apparently, Real Madrid won't make a move for Milos Kerkez unless the deal for Alvaro Carreras falls through. He was of Manchester United, but Erik ten Hag put absolute kaput to his chances at left back for Man United because he hates that club with a passion now. And Dorgu, having come in, not having particularly shined in his first season, he's still a young 19 years old, has taken that left wing back slot. And Carreras has no intention of going back to Man United, even though they have a buyback clause as well. So Real Madrid will probably take it for Benfica, so they won't be in the running. And by all means, we have done our legwork on Milos Kerkez already. He's liked so many social media posts of Liverpool, of Dominic Szoboszlai as well. International teammates, his Hungarian captain is right there. The magic, my guys, clearing everyone's memories. The new Puskas with the left foot, Kerkez at left back. Not quite the galloping major, but you know what I mean. But speaking of galloping major, that's exactly how he plays. He gallops, he strides. He's not the most confident in the dribbling, but he's aggressive, he's plucky, he's barreled like Eito at Dortmund. Runs a little bit like him, barrel-chested forward player Eito at Dortmund. But Milos Kerkez rampages from left back. Now, everyone seems to think he's an attacking, offensive-minded left back, going down the left wing, crossing, whipping them in, great assists, but it's only introduced that in this season. He's never really been super offensively minded. He's positionally responsible, and that's the kind of balance we need. So I'm going to show you on a formation board exactly what Milos Kerkez offers, and he'll be offering different things depending on whether Connor Bradley and Jeremy Frimpong play, because Frimpong will be signing very, very soon. A medical done and dusted. He will be our first signing. Ka-ching, ka-ching, 35 million euros, cheap as chips for a world-class offensive fullback who can play right winger cover for Mo Salah in AFCON as well. But also, Milos Kerkez will be playing differently depending on whether Lucho Diaz or Cody Gakpo plays in front of him. So let's look at the tactics board right now. So let's draw up the exciting formations that we have coming into new season. And let's imagine that Kerkez is the left back we signed. It's no certainty that we will sign Kerkez, by the way. There's many decent left backs in the market. Joel Hato, centre back, can play in the back three as well. Very, very disciplined. I'm going to put Ibu Konate. Some doubts about him signing a new contract. Let's, for fun, let's put Frimpong on here for now. Mo Salah, Egyptian, running down the wing. For now, let's put that as a question mark. We don't know who that is, right? We don't know who that's going to be. Hopefully, this is Florian Wirtz here. We know that this is Dominic Szoboszlai. We know that this is Gravenberg. Actually, that will be Maka there for now. Let's put that like this. Our first string 11. And for this particular example, let's put Cody Matis Gakpo here as well. 21-year-old Milos Kerkez, having signed for 15.5 million from AZ Alkmaar in the Dutch league. Right, so Richard Hughes will be familiar with the clause, the contract, the amount of money they pay. They want to triple their signing on sell fee. So they are looking at £45 million for Milos Kerkez. He will be the left back for generation for 10 years thereabouts. But as I mentioned, Ryan Ait-Nouri, Anthony Robinson, Joel Hato, Gutierrez, Girona as well. There's lots of left backs in the market. So what happens? Everyone seems to think Milos Kerkez will be rampaging here, and delivering the crosses. But I'm going to tell you right now that his crossing isn't as good as Tsimikas or Robertson. Now, he can cross, and he's worked on it a lot in the last year. And you've seen some tasty assists as well. But what you actually can say that without a doubt he's better than Robertson and Tsimikas have ever been is his shooting. He can crack one from the edge of the area into the side net, into the front post. He has a bit of techers and power in that shot as well. Now, what you imagine him doing, because he doesn't actually rampage forward as much as you believe. Frimpong, if he starts like with Kerkez, right, people would be saying, oh my God, that's too attacking minded. We're going to be absolutely slaughtered defensively. But Kerkez, one of his main attributes is he's responsible in both transitions. Now, if Frimpong plays, I imagine he will play in the wing-back slot, under slot, pun intended. And Kerkez is actually quite formidable in the line, in this line here. You imagine that he'll probably sit alongside Gravenberch here, right? Maka will offer the width. Szoboszlai will float in between the lines. Once again, hope that's Wirtz. Okay. Gakpo actually will come into inside forward position, and Salah will come in inside forward position because Frimpong will go around the outside, as we discussed in the Frimpong video, right? So he will start high up. He'll start up. He'll be defensively responsible. You're going to look at that kind of line with Van Dijk sweeping, him stepping into the void as well. So you're going to look at that formation, right? With Maka trying to work in between the lines. This striker going out here, offering the width on the left, allows Gakpo to come in on the inside forward position. Frimpong going around the outside, Salah in the inside forward position. A pull back for an open body left foot shot, or running in here, right? He could be in here, he could be out there. Depends on the positioning of Gakpo as well. But it operates in this way. And Kerkez, defensively responsible, is the fallback option. Maka will be recycling thereabouts. Gakpo can do his poacher's role in the D as well. But imagine Maka goes in the line of the 10 and Kerkez goes in the line of the 6. He'll sit there. He'll sit there and he'll operate in that kind of fashion, in that kind of format as well. So we have the zones covered, all of the zones covered, as you'd expect. Kerkez operates in this kind of quadrant here. So that is what you'd imagine, because Frimpong is definitely the more adventurous of the two. He is the more hyper dynamic, absolute blistering pace around the outside, desperate to go forward, must go forward. He's the most effective area is this area for Frimpong. Frimpong must get into this area repeatedly, and it'll be coming from deep and starting in this position, okay? So that's what you imagine, and it's staggered in the way that Frimpong can absolutely bust a gut and contribute in the final third. Now we're just going to reset the board ever so slightly. Now, the alternative, if Luis Diaz plays, okay? Luis Diaz actually joins in at left midfield slot, right? So you imagine that Kerkez can sit in a line of 6 again. Frimpong probably tucks in this regard, because Lucho Diaz comes back to stitch up the play. If you give the ball to Lucho Diaz, the ball works its way over to Diaz. What you imagine is Kerkez will now make that overlapping run there. You're going to get the dynamic where this striker goes into the left position, similar to Gakpo, and Kerkez finds himself in this position, and Luis Diaz is probably the dummy runner into the high position there, and everyone's in the edge area, because Kerkez is very, very comfortable. He's an accomplished footballer. He's as good an all-around footballer as Connor Bradley and Costa Simicas, even though Costa Simicas is somewhat better delivering from out wide in this left channel here. Kerkez can actually join in there, and he's very comfortable with the 1-2s like a Bradley, getting himself in position, working his angles out wide, receiving it there. You imagine Lucho Diaz goes into the forward position there, and this winger, whether it's a false line like Wirtz, or whether it is your Isaac coming in from the left, or whoever of that mold, Ekitike for example, you imagine that they're going to interchange, but Luis Diaz picks up the ball deep, and Kerkez, when Diaz picks up the ball deep, will make the overlapping runs because he gives an option. And Lucho Diaz, when he's in this position, more often than not, looks for that slide ball over to Salah, and then you've got the same dynamic again, because now everyone is forward. If you get into that kind of position, and Frimpong gets there, you absolutely pile on, and everyone can get in there and have your fun. And that's good fun. That is good fun for everyone. So Kerkez can play the free man at the back because he's improved his defensive tenacity very, very well. He wins a lot of individual duels. He can burst through with penetration and pace. Even though he's not the cleanest dribbler, his tenacity actually gets him through a lot of the challenges as well. And when you have Luis Diaz as the option and Frimpong as the option as well, it's more staggered to Frimpong going forward and Luis Diaz cutting inside. When Luis Diaz does cut inside, he's got to play a more disciplined role for Frimpong, and Kerkez will be the one that goes in and around the outside, because Luis Diaz does love to pick up from deep, where Salah does stay high and operate in that kind of formation there. Gakpo actually stays higher in that position, so if we were to change that for Gakpo, looking to come inside and shoot or run down the channel, in order to facilitate Gakpo coming inside, this striker has to go left as well to offer him that free run, in which case Kerkez stays as a back three or joins in a line of 6 with Van Dijk sweeping. So options are plenty for Milos Kerkez. He can do a lot of good things. He can go around the outside, mainly with tenacity instead of pace, instead of skill. He has got a step over thereabouts. He has got a delivery, but he actually likes... I've deleted Kerkez right there. Hopefully that's not an omen, not a sign. Blame me if Kerkez doesn't side for Liverpool. Just kidding. Ain't on me. It's on Man City. And then millions and millions of dollars. Money does speak. I hope, because we've got that front run, we've got the connection with Bournemouth with Richard Hughes. And by all accounts, he's been liking Liverpool social media and twerking for us. He didn't be doing that, that little jiggly booty dance, that little twerk for us. Kerkez does look right. He's a menace as well. He's a madman. He's passionate. Liverpool fans would get right behind him because he G's the fans up. He really wants to win. He puffs out the chest. King of the jungle. He's a wild man. He'll probably get a red card or two in the Liverpool colours, but it don't matter. And even if the deal doesn't come through, 45 million is a lot for a fullback. Then we will still have other left back options in the market. But Kerkez could be a first choice left back for a good part of 10 years. And I highly think we will get him because by all accounts, we're deep in conversation with him. He's close to agreeing. He's keen on joining Liverpool. Szoboszlai is already here. The position's open for him. And at left back at Manchester City, it'll be Nathan Ake, who's always injured. Gvardiol, who's a centre back competing there. And O'Reilly as well, left back. And other players they can have to fill in the void. Do Manchester City really sign players just to stop Liverpool doing it? Calvin Phillips maybe rings a bell, but he's no guarantee to be good in the Klopp anyway. And he didn't utilise him. So maybe a near miss in that regard. Yeah, so overall, I think Milos Kerkez will sign, and depending on who you play, if this is a Conor Bradley, for example, Bradley and Kerkez are very similar in the way that they are defensively disciplined, and you can see either one of them sitting in the line of 6, allowing different two to rotate. Maka and Gravenberch play between the lines, but Gravenberch can penetrate with a forward run as well, in which case Maka sits deep and Kerkez sits there for balance. Depending on whether Lucho Diaz, who roams in this kind of area, or Cody Gakpo, who wants to go on a more inside forward position, it will make a difference as well. Depends who this striker is. Nunez, Jota go into this channel. Don't know if either of them will be here next season. And Mo Salah obviously stays high and inside forward position. Not as much wide anymore, but especially with Frimpong, he'll stay there more. With Bradley, he's actually not afraid to keep the whips, to act as a secondary playmaker to allow Bradley to go between the lines, in which case Szoboszlai goes out wide, pulls the defender out wide. Conor Bradley is the one that rampages, and you actually can't stop Conor Bradley getting into his position. He's so good at getting into his position. And surprisingly, Bradley's got a quite cute through ball as well, or a little arched curved ball into the inside forward in the 10 position as well. So very, very balanced, but don't expect Kerkez to be up and down, rampaging again and again, because he's only really introduced that this season. He hasn't actually done that throughout his whole career, right? So I don't expect him to be rampaging. He's defensively responsible on the transition, holding his line, holding his zone, and he'll be marshalled by Virgil van Dijk. That's a very important one. He plays on Van Dijk's side, so he'll be marshalled there to stay in line with Maka when we're overloaded on the right-hand side. Konate needs to cover there. Van Dijk sweeping, and depending on who we play at right back, will determine how Kerkez plays as well. Okay, so very, very positive, very, very good signing, and I think Manchester City maybe a little too late to influence the deal, but money does talk, so it'll be very interesting to see what happens in the end. But I feel we've just done too much legwork. We've had a head of steam. We've had not a free run, but an actual accurate run with intensity at Bournemouth, negotiating them on good terms, trying to agree a fee, because by all accounts, Kerkez's wage and agency fees probably won't be, an impediment, unlike Florian Wirtz. So yeah, that's the tactical board. And I think you guys will be delighted with Milos Kerkez signing because he is passionate. He plays with his heart on his sleeve. He doesn't pull out challenges as well. He goes hell for leather, bang, in. He crunches the tackles. He's a great slide tackler. He keeps the whip. He can play inside. He's versatile. He's disciplined. He's actually very mature for his age. He's developing rapidly. Sky-high ceiling. Now, Aït-Nouri might be a better dribbler. Anthony Robinson might be faster and a better defender, right? But he is well-rounded, a jack of all trades, and he's fit, quality, young, not injured, and always makes a difference. He's a key player for Bournemouth. He'll be a key player for Liverpool as well. He will come in as first choice. You imagine Andy Robertson will stay for the leadership value as well. 1 year on the contract. Who knows if he plays himself into form. Part of the changing room, as is Costa Tsimikas. Tsimikas is so popular in the changing room. Mo Salah's best friend in the absence of Dejan Lovren. However, Tsimikas, 29 years old, probably get sold in summer. I would hate Harvey Elliott to get sold, but it looks as though that interview, he kind of knows that maybe the time is right to get a starting place. He won't be a starter for many Premier League clubs. He plays in a specific 10 or 9 position. Not a 9, but a right winger going into inside forward position. He can't really play as false 9 either. He hasn't got the pace, but his technique and skill. He's always in with the assists and the goals as well. He could do well for a promoted team, or for example, a Fulham. Maybe even Nottingham Forest might be good in the 10 role, depending on what happens to Morgan Gibbs-White as well if he moves to Manchester City. Florian Wirtz is between Bayern Munich and Liverpool. I believe Bayern Leverkusen have quoted Bayern Munich 150 million euros. Who knows what they've quoted Liverpool? 130 million euros, 135 million euros. I expect it to be slightly less. Bayern Munich can pay high wages, but they've got high earners like Harry Kane on the books as well. By all accounts, Plettenberg and other people are saying that Liverpool are very attractive because Wirtz wants to play in the Premier League, wants to test himself, wants to compete in the Champions League and for all trophies every single season. Liverpool would have to equal probably one of the highest wage earners, but we don't have the Trent issue anymore. So perhaps he can earn that 250k, close to 300k at Liverpool. He might be incentivized. If we win things, he earns even more. Or success over time, for example. He would be a key player, can play false nine, can play 10, can play either wing, pseudo right winger as well in his football manager profile. German international, be really, really good. He's a serious type, serious professional who wants to win things. We've been linked with so many players. I said in many videos when everyone was saying, what position do we really need to strengthen? People said centre back. People said Dean Huijsen, left back, as well. Milos Kerkez, a backup for Van Dijk. But who would want to come and be third choice because Van Dijk always plays as fighting for one position now? We won't spend big on a centre back. People were saying striker. I said we need a number 10. I said Arne Slot, slot machine football, the rock and roll, Dutch total football, Dutch total football. WM, inverted WN 232, 3232, all those kind of formations with inversions and triangles. He needs that number 10. Arne Slot was a number 10, and we don't have that classy number 10 because even though Maka can play there, right? You're looking for a number 10 can run past the lines as a late runner like a Ricardo Kaká, right? Or Juan Román Riquelme, a Pablo Aimar who could take that shot regularly, who can play the through ball regularly, who's always staying high and makes an impact in the final third, but especially running past the last line, right? With a layoff and off you go, take it past and slot it in, right? Slot it in the slot machine, and that is Florian Wirtz all over. So he'd be worth every penny, and FSG will stump up the cash, no budget, will stump up the cash for any player who they deem worthy, commercially, viability for the team, realistic to join, dedicated to Liverpool, and will take us to the next level because it increases the net worth of the club and the asset book in the club as well, and they'll never lose value for someone like Florian Wirtz. So the Caicedo bid said it all. Even though we were late for him, we've done the legwork for Florian Wirtz. We've met with his father in Blackpool. So it's up to destiny whether he shows an interest to leave Germany, reject the lures of Bayern Munich, or if Leverkusen just don't play ball and don't give Bayern Munich an acceptable offer. Manchester City are ruled out for the fact that Florian Wirtz quoted them an extortionately high fee. Now, I don't think that same fee is the same fee they quoted Liverpool for the fact that it came to like 300 million, right? All things included: transfer, wage, agent, incentivized bonuses, achievable targets, etc. So very interesting to see. But as I said, we're shopping at the top end of the market this season. Arne Slot's earned it. He's a Premier League champion in the first season. Well done, my friends. Well done to everybody in the Liverpool Fan Japan community for continually supporting this channel. We're hitting 3,000 views constantly. Domo arigatou gozaimasu. I'm so happy right now. My family are here from the UK in Japan, really enjoying themselves. Mia, Eito, Mai enjoying the summertime in Miyazaki Japan as well. Miyazaki Man Japan. It means the best. You guys are the best. Stay safe, everyone. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Until next time, Jane means ciao.